Okay, well, hello guys. Raise your hands. Who has a plan for next year? Who's afraid about next year? Oh, there we go. Okay, well, going through life, we tend to put a lot of attention about the obstacles that lie ahead of us. We worry about the things we have to do next and how we can go about future problems. By doing so, we often forget about our accomplishments so far and about the things we've learned along the way. When I actually started how far I've came this year, I felt extremely proud. Even though there have been a lot of challenges for me, I feel like I've been able to learn so much from them. To give you a little overview of myself, I'm 28, I'm born and bred in Germany, and after high school I completed a hand makeup course because as a girl I thought that is the perfect job for me. But soon I realized that I'm seeking for more. Staying at the shooting set for 8 hours, not contributing much or using my brain a lot, made me feel pretty useless. So I didn't know where or what to do next, and more importantly, I didn't know who I am, or rather who I wanted to be. So I always wanted to go traveling and explore the beauty of this earth, but I was never brave enough to do so. So after a couple of great misfortunes in my family, I needed to break out of my mom's loving arms, and I mean 2 loving arms, to go and define myself. Probably someone can relate to this. So after traveling a while and finding more to myself, I came back to Germany and studied fashion and design management, which I graduated from last year. But still, I wasn't sure if that's the right path in my life. So my mom told me, start working, go and earn your own money, and just do what you started. And I can't blame her. I mean, that was what she got told when she was younger as well. So still, I was not quite happy with what I was doing, but what I realized in this time is that that marketing is really what I'm interested in. So I did a lot of research to find the red and yellow school, which seemed to be the perfect fit for me. I mean, it gave me the opportunity to go overseas and travel a bit, improve my English, which is always good if you want to work internationally, and of course, learn more about marketing and advertising. So still, a couple of my family members tried to convince me to not do it because in their opinion, I was too old. But I was just listening to myself and applied, and well, now I'm here talking to you guys. So who knows that feeling I'm talking about, to not know what next step to take. So a lot of us in the millennial generation do, and it's normal. Our generation is so different to any other before, and those of us who have been raised in the digital and internet era, we have more choices available to us than any other generation prior. And I mean, that's nice, especially when it comes to work, but we also have so many choices. I mean, do I want to have a 9-to-5 job, or do I want to work in a startup? Do I want to start my own business, or do I want to freelance? Do I want to work remotely, or do I want to work in an office? Do I prioritize money or fulfillment, lifestyle or my career path, security or flexibility? And those questions are incredibly important to us because the quest of meaningful work is a lot of who we are as a generation. So the whole thing I'm talking about is identified as a personal identity crisis, typically experienced in one's 20s to 30s, involving profound angst and anxiety about the direction in one's life and what next steps to take. And I know a lot of people in this room probably suffer under those conditions, and that's completely fine, because 72% of the millennial generation do. And it's okay to not always have a plan. I mean, Sarah Kluwer, for example, you go traveling for the next 2 years, right? You will probably experience the same thing I experienced when I was on a search to myself. And let me tell you guys, I'm still not there. Life is a journey, and every decision we make will add value to our life. And I mean, I learned so much throughout my travels. It's not just being independent, but I opened up, I learned how to approach people in different cultures, and I learned to deal with difficult moments and situations. Okay, well, since today is the last day of this amazing year we had at Red and Yellow, I want to use this list and encourage you guys with my 3 small life lessons I've learned along the way. So my first life lesson is, people seem to think if I follow the footsteps of a successful person, I'll be successful too. And humans seem to be obsessed with success, especially if it's someone else's success, because it shows us what's possible and what's achievable in a matter of X time. We just have to analyze the efforts and execute it in the same way, and bam, we achieve what they achieve. However, life is not always how we expected it to be. Sometimes we fall out of luck getting the right opportunity to the right time. One obstacle stops us, or our abilities not quite match the person we do so admire. So remember, after all, what works for someone else might not necessarily work for you as well. My life lesson number 2. You tend to let others choose your path if you don't know what to do. When we find ourselves living lives that don't align with who we are, we suffer psychologically. So research suggests that authentic self-expression is a vital component of well-being, even though if it sets us apart from others. So for example, some people think they have to choose between a career path that benefits them or benefits others without realizing that self-interest doesn't have to mean the opposite. And also, we get encouraged to follow our dreams, but not all dreams are created equal. Sometimes living the life we truly want to live means that you have to make choices that go against the expectation of your family members, cultures, or communities. So what I want to say is it's okay to be selfish sometimes and follow your heart and what you want to achieve. And there's not only one right path to follow, rather multiple right ones, similarly to all roads lead to Rome, and in this case, to success. The last one, and probably the most important one for me, is it is okay to fail, guys. Nothing in life is risk-free, and some paths have clearer roadmaps than others. And carving a new path tends to involve a lot of trial and error, and that means greater potential for failure. But experiencing more failure helps us changing the relationship to it and see it more as a learning opportunity. So for example, if you're working in a company and another opportunity comes along, it's worth taking the risk, because otherwise you wouldn't know if that opportunity suits you better or not. And I mean, guys, everything in life is just about the right time to act. And I hope I could encourage you and calm you a little bit down about next year. And I want to close with a quote which I find quite suitable and inspirable. So New York is 3 hours ahead of California, but that doesn't make California slow. Someone graduated at the age of 22, but waited 5 years to secure a good job. Someone became a CEO at 25 and died with 50, while another became a CEO at 50 and lived to 90 years. Someone is still single while someone else got married. Obama retired with 55, while Trump started with 70. Everyone in this world works on their time zone. People around you seem to be ahead of you, and some seem to be behind you. But everyone is running their own race in their own time. Life is about waiting for the right time to act. So relax. You're not late, you're not early, you're very much on time.